Oh, all right. I'm supposed to do a thing. Hang on. Jovan, pick a chord.
Sorry. Uh, G chord.
Welcome to the show. Why didn't you have
Look at
something
this
better to do
photograph.
tonight? That's the song.
Every time I hear it, made me laugh.
We can go to the show now.
I'm sorry, but that's
Something
so
is
funny.
loading.
What do you mean
Somebody said
something's
low. Oh wait, are we? Is something fucked up? Are
What's
we have tech
wrong?
issues like always?
Oof.
It's just loading. Sometimes it does this, but it's doing it now. It should be gone in a minute.
What are you saying is loading? Like vMix was broken?
Yeah.
When is it not?
My set's currently in construction, and
I actually
Luthien
kind of
informed
like
me,
the completely dark with just a couple of lights. That actually looks really cool.
reflecting off of the thing. I
Yeah.
like more what I'm making, but Luthien said I need something to break up the black background, so I set those little bar lights up, and the other thing I don't like about them is they're not perfectly straight, like me.
I want to shout out so far. Funniest comment of the day has already been made. Someone said, "Love Jovan. Glad he's giving smaller streamers a chance to co-host with him."
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Remember that time? Do you remember that time a bunch of people were saying that about Kanye and the dude from the
Jeezy.
Beatles?
Oh.
Yeah. Now, am I
The
saying I'm the
Beatles?
Beatles in that scenario? Yeah. Okay. What was it, Stu?
I'm eating
No,
cake if
Brian.
anybody wants to know.
Brian, when on Family Guy, when he's like, and I'm not saying I'm bigger than Jesus. I'm just saying I get it.
Wait, did you ever see the bit in Family Guy? It's like Brian and Stewie like wink at each other, and Peter's like, "What are you doing? Don't wink at my baby, weirdo."
Oh, by the way, I did want to respond to some criticism I heard from Jovan's audience specifically by saying, grow a goddamn sense of humor, you humorless douchebags.
I'm not live, so they're not even seeing this right now.
Oh, what a bummer. Also, I wish more people had I don't think you heard it, actually. In fact, I'm going to go pull it up and play it for you. Let me, there was a moment on last night's show that I think you missed one of my jokes that I was so sad when you didn't laugh, because I was like, oh, that
What
one
hour?
was
What
so
hour of
good.
what hour of the show did you make it? Because you can clearly watch. If you watch the show, you can clearly see towards the last 40 minutes. I check out completely. I got so tired.
Yeah, I've been noticing this about you, and it almost makes me like sometimes I worry that I should be reaching out. Like, are you okay, man? Because you to me have the personality of a streamer who can do like 14 hours in a row, but you've been tapping out before me, and I'm a sick boy.
It's just because we've been doing it late night lately. That's really it.
At your request, by the way.
True.
Yeah.
True. Hold on. I don't deny that. But
and you are an hour ahead. I suppose there's that.
If the calls don't bore me, I can stay locked in. But last night we spent 40 minutes on like the most boring dude ever.
That's
so
true.
I was just falling asleep.
That's true. You could send me a DM. You probably did.
I think
MAGA,
I sent it. I think
if
I
you'd
said
like to
it
call
in...
and debate us, because you guys are fucking idiots, honestly. And I'd love to hear your defense that you actually think the new angle of the video somehow proves.
Boring dude.
Sorry, somehow proves. Could you hear that? Could you hear your own voice for a second there? Okay, good. Yeah. At least that part's working.
Wait. You could see Luthien. Look, literally, when that call came out, Luthien messaged the Discord, said, "Jovan, you look so mad." I said, "Now I'm bored with this guy, so I'm playing a video game."
I was worried about you.
Yeah, everybody's just like, we just want you.
Cool. I got cake tonight. I'm good.
We just want you to be happy. All right, I gotta find the one that, because it was I liked it. I want to make sure that the devastating thing will be I heard. I just didn't laugh. That's the one that'll hurt. That's the one that'll hurt. But at least somebody pointed it out. My favorite thing is when I have a good one, but it's meant to be subtle and not necessarily gotten by everybody, but someone mentions it in the comments. I like those. I'm sad your audience isn't watching. I had more abuse for them.
I figured I'd spare them the snowman today. Someone called me today and said, "Yeah, Jovan, who's that?
Policy.
That what do they say? They said that's that snow person. I've seen streams with him, and I guess didn't connect that we streamed together. It was like I've seen stream because he was just like, yeah, this is really cool that you're doing this. I see these YouTube streams come on. Like, have you ever seen that snow guy?
That snow guy.
like Jimmy.
All right, check this out.
That I need to turn around on this road. What would I execute as a driver to turn around?
See, I have to turn around.
A protester.
Going the way.
That was the joke that I thought good. You missed. Thank you.
Yeah, I did miss it. I didn't miss it. I didn't hear it at all.
Yeah. We never
I
know
heard it, but been so laser focused. You know how I get when I'm like down an argument train, I just lock in.
Also, what mix we hear prioritized in our ears isn't necessarily the same mix that the audience. By the way, I have turned off the auto gain thing for brightness because holy crap, did I get some rough angles last night and rough. You do not need to brighten this up. There's like a screenshot of me just looking like Beaker. Meep, 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 meep. That guy.
Is that on for me too?
It could be. If you go into your video settings on Zoom.
Oh, adjust for low light. No, it's off.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, and so it's been we don't always do this 2 days in a row. We don't always want to. We'll probably be streaming more in the future. I mean, this year is an important year politically. This is the channel with the political shows. I'm going to see how often we can get Forrest on here, and if not Forrest, bring some more people. I think it's going to be next month. We're trying to work things out because I want to get Ari here as much as possible. It's proving to be complicated, but I think we're going to be able to start having Ari on semi-regularly. And we want to make sure. And yes, so someone wrote, y'all saw the new video leak today. I don't know if you'd call it a leak when
leaked by the
vice
government.
President posted it. I said Johnny Snow. Did I? That Johnny Snow?
Did you get your own name
nothing,
wrong?
Johnny Snow. Yeah, that's my real name. That's my that guy who keeps calling in demanding I share what my real name is. It's really funny because there's a guy who's obsessed with that. When Jimmy is actually technically my real name. It's my middle name, and I've gone by Jimmy socially for most of my adult life now. The last name, I while it is useful in a world full of fucking freaks like these people who, you made a joke about Charlie Kirk, we're going to try to ruin your life. The reason why I went with Snow is not actually to be anonymous. It's because my family lives in like Wyoming. So I call that the North. And in Game of Thrones, a bastard from the North is a Snow. And so that's literally, I basically just put away my family name was the deal.
You know nothing, Jim Snow.
Jimmy, you need to work on your Southern accent. Try saying Washington as for your need to work on humor. I don't know if I can help, but 6'7", Kara.
Did you see that damn Olivia person from yesterday blowing the comments up?
No.
The live yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Olivia, she is livid. We do have call screening and stuff, and we're going to get to them because I am happy to discuss with MAGA the ridiculousness. Yeah, Olivia.
A video
going
that absolutely
crazy.
Does not prove your point.
So first of all, I think Olivia made an alternate account because it's like generic first name, last name, random digits. I mean, Olivia was correct in what she said. She just didn't know how to say it. Trump is the embodiment of the rot that the populists have let fester for decades. Kamala would have been better than Trump, but I doubt her presidency would have addressed the rot that Trump has given Trump and those like him power. And then she writes, thank you. I basically wrote, you're both wrong, Colin. I'll explain it to you. And then she wrote, I did a good job, Jimmy. I'm going to call every Wednesday after happy hour now. I have a 2-week routine going. You have fun with that. Calling in after happy hour, that's going to put you right with Matt Dillahunty. You enjoy.
Admitting that she calls in drunk.
Right. On a routine, too. By the way, you might want to get that checked out. And then obviously the person who said Jimmy Snowflake with that first caller, to which I replied, but
Jimmy Snowflake is pretty good. Conservatives
No,
can
it
take
isn't.
note over on Threads.
How is that good? Literally, I've been being called
Right.
that by MAGA for 7 years now.
Just because you're called it a lot doesn't mean it's not good.
Jimmy Snowflake is the least
Hilarious.
creative thing you could have come
So
up
funny.
with. Like,
So
imagine
funny.
if it would be as though my last name was Woke and you went Jimmy Wokesgold. Like, wow, you did it. You did the thing where half of the work was already done for you. I don't know. I prefer clever fat jokes. Those are my favorite. If you're gonna attack me, clever fat
You
jokes.
want the best joke ever made in my expense. Okay.
Yeah.
It was back when I was doing musical theater regularly, right? We were in the dressing room and I was like putting on my outside pants. I was changing out of my costume. And I guess I had left my debit card in my pants outside of my wallet. So when I was putting on my pants, my debit card like snapped in half. And one of my friends looks over at me and he goes, "Damn, you're so poor, your card declined itself." And I was like, I will never recover from that. That was crazy.
I enjoyed, there was a period of time where it was fair. There would be people who would say something like, "What's with angry young Santa?" I like those. I like those.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Have I given any thought to hiring Jovan to do my opening jingle? You guys know I've done all the music on Jovan's channel, right?
It's crazy.
That's all mine. The
Trying
harder
to take
the
credit
hip-hop,
for my
the
theme
more it
song.
was me, by the way. Thank you, Liz Chris, who says Jimmy always makes me laugh. I feel like I will have achieved something when you're laughing with me. I think I make a lot of people laugh consistently.
So why go for fat jokes when forehead jokes are right there?
I'm just not.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
It's old. It's old because I already did my like monologue about how I have an unusually curved head, like the amount of like Neanderthal brow I have. And one day I was like feeling a little self-conscious about it, and I was like, "Do I have to Luthien?" I was like, "Do I have like an abnormally prominent brow?" And she was like, "Not like massively." And so forehead, the curved forehead. It's to the point that I ordered a VR headset and it literally doesn't fit because it's only made for 3 face shapes and mine's not one of them.
That's crazy. What VR was it?
The new Samsung Galaxy XR. It's their first Android VR headset. Yeah. Well, the first one running Android XR anyway. I think they've tried Android-esque things in the past, and technically Meta's is built on the top of Android. Anyway, this is all ravishing stuff, but y'all can be more clever. Oh, also the other reason why Snowflake doesn't work is because literally it was either on Patreon or just Discord. We had a group called Jimmy's Snowflakes. Like it was the ironic, it was already being used ironically. So it's just lazy. It's,
Still funny to me.
Well, no one said wide. Lauren Elizabeth, Jimmy do be having an oddly wide forehead. What? Wide? I just have a huge head. They don't make my hat size. No, they do, but I have to get huge hats.
So, Jovan, did you end up trying cocaine like an adult yet?
Wait, you've never tried cocaine?
No, it's just first of all, no, absolutely not.
The best.
But earlier today, I was like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I should take a nap or something before Jimmy streamed." And somebody went, "Why don't you just do cocaine like an adult,
like a big boy?" I only have positive things to say about it, so I don't know. Like it's
unlike a white person, I can't use cocaine casually.
I haven't used it because so for the record, I also couldn't use it casually. I used it addictively. There was nothing casual about it. So I've actually been clean for like 14 or 15 years now. I'd have to.
That explains the snow.
Yeah, that's why I had Jimmy Snow. That's the Jimmy Cocaine wouldn't have worked except for in porn.
You couldn't have gotten monetized with Jimmy Cocaine.
What up, everybody? Jimmy Cocaine here. Jimmy Cocaine.
That's actually a pretty good radio
Jimmy
name.
Cocaine and I don't care. I don't know. Could be fun. I just realized that's a pretty sure that song has racist connotations.
Jimmy Crack Corn?
Yeah. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care.
What does it mean to crack corn?
I don't care. And Master's Gone Away. I feel any song that has the phrase Master's Gone Away probably has racial undertones.
You know what I just realized?
Huh.
I never knew the final part of Jimmy Crack Corn.
Yeah, well, that's not surprising. That's more of a thing that my people have preserved. You know, that's more of our tradition than yours.
Let me see. Lyrics. Jimmy Crack Corn.
Yeah.
Old Massa go. It's not just Masters. It's Old Massa gone away.
By the way,
Is it
I
a
knew
slave
that.
hymn?
I knew that. You know that I wasn't going to say that, right? I'm not allowed to say that.
This Jimmy Crack Corn. Oh no, it's a minstrel song. Oh, that's worse.
Is that? I don't know what that.
Oh, no one should sing this song. It was created for a minstrel show.
Oof.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bet that somebody bought shoe polish, but not for shoes.
Yeah.
Show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, you got it.
Yikes.
That's it.
It's an American song which first became popular during the rise of blackface minstrelsy. Chat, you know what type of edit you have to do now.
Stream. Let's go ahead and
you know what type of edit you have to do now, chat.
End live, delete stream, end live before they can download it. All right, let's take our first call. Nick in South Carolina. Nick, you are on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. And Nick, we have a live chat here right now, a mere 600 people, but not a 600 stick to shake it. I don't know what that phrase is. As they're talking about you, would you prefer they refer to you as a he, a she, a they, or something else?
He is fine.
Excellent. Thanks so much. All right. And how old are you, Nick?
I'm 20. How old are you?
35. I could be your president. Would you vote for me?
He's 20.
That all depends.
I'm a socialist. I will shove free healthcare, housing, and other needs down your throat.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum, but believe it or not, I actually believe, even as a conservative myself, I actually believe in free healthcare.
How do you square that circle then? You say as a conservative yourself, I feel that free healthcare, Medicare for all or something would be one of the defining features of, like, that's the closest you can get to being on the actual left and still be a capitalist, as I think may be possible, is believing in
conservative.
Well, my justification for this is that the healthcare system has failed.
Yes.
True.
And I mean, I think that's just one of the issues that I'm conservative, but that's one of the issues that I am liberal on.
Listen, scratch a conservative and a socialist bleeds almost 90% of the time.
Yeah,
they just don't like the word, but they agree with damn near everything else.
What would you say about the American healthcare system is the thing that failed?
Well, when Obamacare went in, I think it's supposed to save Americans like $2,500 a year or whatever, and healthcare premiums have skyrocketed since then.
That's true, but was that the moment you think healthcare started failing, or do you think it had failed prior to that too?
I think it had always kind of been a failure.
Ooh, pick me.
Did.
Go ahead, Jovan.
I think healthcare failed in the 70s and 80s when we got rid of universal healthcare and insurances became a thing. I loved the time back when Blue Cross Blue Shield was literally $1. That was great. You paid $1. Missed that. Less up.
Do you feel, Nick, like that fundamentally the thing wrong with healthcare would be a system by which everybody pays in and hopes to minimize, pay out benefits as little as possible so that there's a profit incentive to reduce more and more what they'll actually pay for? Would you say that is the thing that fails about it? Basically, the profit incentive makes it hard for a company to prioritize the patients over the money?
Yes, I would agree with that.
I agree. And so you and I both see, at least with healthcare, the problem is capitalism, because that's what that would describe. The problem is capitalism.
Yes, I'm actually of the opinion that I don't want to go to more socialism because socialism implemented anywhere in the world has pretty much failed. Let's
Sure
just be
about that?
honest.
Could you go ahead and what economic system would you say China has right now?
Socialism, but
Okay.
they have a
And
bunch
are
of
they?
cheap labor,
Yep. So listen, I'm
and
not
I don't
saying
think China's.
I'm not saying I want to do China's socialism, but most people will say it has failed everywhere, and yet the second strongest economy in the world, they'll also say is socialist. So you can't say it's failed everywhere when right now the one that actually is now making trade deals with all of our previous partners and even the cheap labor that you're saying they actually meet a better bottom standard of living for their poorest people, whether it comes to just regular living, healthcare, all that stuff. Their poor are living better than our poor. So it would be false to say socialism has failed everywhere if you also maintain that China's system is socialist. Isn't that correct?
That's why I said it's failed almost everywhere.
Except for the second largest economy in the world, soon to be largest.
Yes, it worked for them,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean
Right.
it's going to work for us. That's what I'm saying.
Why?
I mean, throughout history,
Why couldn't it work for us?
because socialism almost always develops into authoritarianism.
Okay, so if you created it from the ground up in a way that prevents authoritarianism, and by the way, we were talking about successful. Again, China, that would be my problem with China's socialism is the authoritarian nature, but you can't say that it has failed. They're even authoritarian over there and have succeeded.
Damn, I've been muted this whole time. Different question, Nick. What is
Yes.
authoritarianism?
Authoritarianism?
Yeah.
The complete and utter overreach of the government to control the people. I would define that
And
as
how does,
socialism.
what are some examples of how the government can overreach?
Using I know what you're trying to do. Hold up.
You do?
Using the military to suppress speech. Pressuring companies to suppress speech. Using military
What about,
police state to enforce.
What about having the police arrest someone because they said something negative about your president? Would that be authoritarianism?
To which event are you referring to under Trump? Because
Yeah,
so much going
2 days
on that I
ago,
can't
2 days
keep
ago,
up
this
with.
woman that was giving an interview at a protest said a bunch of negative things about Trump. And then as soon as the protest was over, it was a Venezuelan protest. As soon as she was halfway through her speech, the police arrested her, right? Detained her, drove her 4 blocks away and questioned whether she was Venezuelan, asked about her allegiances with governments, asked if she supported Trump, and then let her go later. Would that be authoritarian?
I mean, I'm not aware of this incident, but I would say it's authoritarian.
Okay. What if, I don't know, for instance, we were, and this is just a completely made up scenario, but what if we were sending non-violent, in fact, what if we were sending people without criminal records, right, to prison camps in another country? Would that be authoritarian?
So you're referring to who are you referring to? Because there's several.
It's just a
people
made
that
up.
have
It's
sent
just a
there
made up scenario.
with no. Okay, are they here legally or illegally?
Are they here? Would that matter when it comes to prison camps? Would you send
Well,
somebody who's here
I mean,
illegally to a prison camp? That seems a bit
if they have no criminal record,
a punishment
I mean, if
doesn't
they have no
fit the crime thing.
If they have no criminal record, no, I wouldn't send them to a prison camp.
Okay, so
And there's
would
one
you say
person
sending some people without criminal records to prison camps is authoritarian?
I mean, yeah, it could be an overreach.
Okay. What if I'm just trying to get examples because I really want to know how you think on these scenarios. What if, I don't know, you illegally went to another country and kidnapped the president of that country? Is that an overreach?
Okay, so we're talking. Okay, Yeah, okay.
No, this
yeah,
is a
we can get
hypothetical.
into
This
the
is hypothetical.
Venezuela.
This never.
We can get into Venezuela.
Nick, this is a
Yeah, I'm
hypothetical.
willing to get into the Venezuela argument.
I don't know what Venezuela is. This is a
So,
hypothetical. It's never happened before.
well,
I'm just
I mean,
asking
the instance
hypothetically if
you're
that
referring
happened.
to, well, hypothetically, we have to live in we have to deal with reality here. Is what I'm saying. Venezuela, President Maduro. First, Trump put a $15 million bounty on him under his first term, and then Biden upped the bounty to $25 million, and then it hit $50 million. Plus, I don't think he was ever recognized as a true leader of Venezuela. Because he
On
seemed,
the
if I'm not
political
wrong,
stage, he was Che Guevara's like replacement.
So, by the way, it's a loser of an argument anyway, if that's the one you want to go with, considering the fact that the now actually elected leader of Venezuela, as if we're sticking with Venezuela, the person who actually was elected and beat Maduro is not being installed. We're maintaining the Maduro regime and going with the vice president there. So whatever thing you have about like the nobility of what he did, Donald Trump isn't even pretending what he did was noble anymore. It was about taking Venezuelan oil. There is no good plan. We do not know what we're doing next with them. We aren't making sure that there's not going to be a civil war in Venezuela. We aren't doing shit for them. We're there for the oil.
Okay, what do you think China and Russia were there for? Because they were only there for the oil too.
Wait, I'm sorry. I mean, this. It doesn't matter. I'm just like.
I'm glad that's who we're like.
Yeah, does us, if we go into a country, a sovereign nation, and we, in the cover of night, engage in military action that not only kills civilians, I think it's up to 40 civilians have been killed per the count, but then we kidnap a country's president, whether that president is doing good or bad, is this an overreach of power?
Doesn't Monroe Doctrine allow us to work in the Western Hemisphere? And besides, okay,
no.
Let me
America has no jurisdiction in any country that's not America.
Okay, yeah. I'm pretty sure Monroe Doctrine allows us for that.
No.
Let me flip this question around real quick.
Wait. I'm sorry, but Nick, you think that there's a doctrine that the United States just gives ourselves power in another part of the planet?
Hold up.
Holding.
How long is this going to take?
I'm checking Monroe Doctrine right now.
What are you checking it for?
Well, I'm checking for it to make sure I get my facts right.
By the way, you did see that even MAGA's darling Josh Hawley voted in the Senate to basically curb the president's go-to-war shit, because even he agrees that the president's overstepping.
All the Monroe Doctrine says is that, well, sending people to prison camps is an overstep. Kidnapping foreign leaders is a bit of an overstep. There's simple. Do you think it was okay when we did it in Iraq?
Did it in Iraq?
Was it okay when we did it then?
In Iraq to begin with.
Why not?
Yeah. Why? Because we spent 20 years there and accomplished what? What did we accomplish?
We got oil.
Regime change. That was the goal, remember? Protect the West and get rid of Saddam. Remember how getting rid of Saddam was super duper duper important? What was the fallout of getting rid of Saddam without a good comprehensive plan in place for what comes after? What happened because of that?
We replaced ISIS with ISIS. That's basically what we did.
I think you mean we replaced Saddam with ISIS.
Well, I mean, either way, we did nothing. This is why the Venezuela situation is a very delicate situation.
And we didn't learn from Iraq. We didn't learn from
Iraq?
Panama. We didn't learn from Chile.
Is Venezuela just Iraq 2.0?
I don't know. We'll have to see how things play out. I'm in
Did Bush
favor of
did
it.
Bush
He's a
go
brutal
into the
dictator.
did Bush go into the Middle East for oil?
More than likely, probably.
And was it wrong of him to engage in military operations in another country just so he could get oil for the United States?
Yeah, but that's not the only reason Trump's going into Venezuela.
It is literally admitted by Trump the only reason he's there. He's literally said it's the reason he's there.
Hold up. This hurts China and Russia in the process. The oil is a big bonus, but this hurts China and Russia in the process.
Does it? Or does it now empower them to go, hey, where will America be able to stand? On what ground will they be able to stand if we violate now? If Russia says, all right, well, America set the standard, I'm going to go ahead and violate the sovereignty of Ukraine. I'm going to send a mission in to abduct Zelensky. Or China go, all right, that's cool about that sovereignty. Guess we know our play to go ahead and grab Taiwan. Are you sure that it makes us worse, or does it actually does it now set a precedent that we cannot fight against?
Fight against how? Why are we concerned with what's going on in Ukraine?
You're concerned with what goes on in Venezuela, but not Ukraine?
I'm concerned about what goes on over here within the Western Hemisphere.
So it's not America first, it's Western Hemisphere first.
No, this is America first.
Do you believe America that America's alliance with NATO is important?
I mean, are we not the backbone of NATO?
Do you believe it's important?
I mean, isn't NATO trying to gear up for a war with Russia too?
Is it important? Is our allyship? It's not a trick question, Nick. Answer my question, not whatever question you're wanting to answer. Is our alliance with NATO important?
Sure.
Is Ukraine a NATO ally? Not a member of NATO, but a NATO ally.
Isn't that one of the reasons Russia invaded? I'm pretty sure that's because Ukraine tried to join NATO.
Hey, what question did I just ask you, Nick?
I don't know if they were a member of NATO or not. I
didn't say member. Are they an ally of NATO with guarantees from NATO because that they are such an important trade partner, as well as their access to the sea and everything else, that they're also important for our national defense? Is that the reality, or should we not worry about them?
I guess that's the reality. I mean,
if we're going into Venezuela because we need to get rid of a tyrant, why would preventing democracy from falling in Taiwan also be against our interests?
I'm sorry, repeat your question.
If you like that we took out a tyrant in Venezuela, why would supporting and preventing democracy from falling in Taiwan not also be in our interest? Because you said, why do we care about which, by the way, Nick, is so not America first. It's like America is the world, and I don't understand the globe is a globe, and that the way the map works, you do know Asia, like Europe, is just across the one ocean from us, right?
Yeah, across the Pacific. Yeah. Alaska is right next to Russia.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting, Nick. You mentioned that we needed their oil, the oil would be a good thing, but I thought Trump was doing really good on gas prices. Why do we need foreign oil if he's doing so good on gas?
Okay, let me explain. There's several geopolitics here at play. What does Russia relies heavily on the price of oil to drive its economy? Am I wrong?
I mean, it did before sanctions.
Now it's replaced a lot of that with economic partnerships with India, China, and other countries that no longer feel like they can rely on America, because while Russia is at war and people used to not want to piss us off for that, what Donald Trump has done with tariffs has actually removed us as trade partners for a bunch of countries that will now go to China and Russia, who are worse countries, but more reliable.
Okay. I'm just saying, this right here is going to hurt Russia. I seen a manuscript, or it's something coming out of Russia of Russia.
I don't trust a
talking
single
about
thing
it, and they
Donald
were
Trump
like,
says about what's going to happen to Russia.
Nope,
Since
nope,
Donald Trump was the person who said,
this wasn't Trump.
yes, this is Trump's analysis, and this is that everything you are repeating is the Fox News points that started in the White House. From the guy who said he would end the war between Russia and Ukraine within 24 hours of being elected.
Yeah, and guess what? I didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Nobody thought it was going to happen because it like, duh.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that was going to happen anyway. And I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't know why he ever said that. That was dumb.
Because he understands that most of his supporters are stupid and that he can get away with, basically he can just be a phrase machine. That was why he did it. He knew that your side would defend him no matter what. Not because you're specifically stupid, but most of your MAGA allies are.
Let's move to the real discussion. Why do you think that it was okay that a woman got murdered by ICE?
Okay. I wouldn't call it murder. You can clearly see in the video she got hit, or he got hit.
Incorrect.
And let's keep in mind, this is the same officer that was drugged by a car just a few months ago.
By the way, also violating policy. When he was drugged by the car before, he was violating DHS policy with how you're supposed to interact with vehicles. He put his arm into the vehicle and held on as the car took off when he was from the side, when he was supposed to, by policy, let it go. So that's why that policy is in place. It is his fault. He is the person who caused that injury. And if that experience then gave him PTSD to the point that he could not reliably then do the job, he should not have been cleared to go and violate policy again. In fact, let me take this opportunity to correct something I said yesterday, because from the new video angle, I now know I was wrong. He was not actually in that vehicle that passed and got out. He was already outside and already going around the vehicle. He already was placed behind and to this, right. He's going around, including the part that he is by policy not supposed to go. Now, you said he was clearly hit. I disagree. He clearly, to me, put his, at the angle where we can actually see, as the car starts moving, puts his weight on the car, perhaps to grab it again and get dragged like the last time, I don't know. And because he is on an icy road, the jogging motion appears to be that he is slipping on the ice, having put his weight there. I don't agree that he was clearly hit. Even if he had been, it would have been a bump. And there is, the policy is not... The policy is not any amount of danger or industry justifies you shooting into a vehicle. It is unless there is clear threat to life, which getting bumped by the side of a car at a short distance is not, or clear threat of severe injury, as again, he was breaking policy. So now my question for you, Nick, would be, you're not going to accept any of that. It is what the video shows, despite our vice president's gaslighting. So since you're not going to accept any of that, would you agree that the second and third shot, which take place completely from the side of the car, and there is definitely more than a foot of clearance between him and the car is passing him, there is zero potential threat to life by the second and third shot, would you agree that the second and third shot were wrong?
The second and third shot?
Right, yeah. Where he is completely to the side. So if body cam footage later comes out, and in a moment you can, I'm going to let you address everything you want to in a moment. I'm going to get through my line of questioning. If body camera footage comes out and it becomes clear that she probably died as a result of not the first shot, but in fact the second or third shot is likely what killed her, will you then agree that he needs to be brought up on charges of murder?
If body camera footage shows up and that is the case, yes.
So it is only the first shot and you are only sure that he is not guilty of murder because you think the first shot is what ended her life, not the subsequent two. You are depending on if the first shot is what killed her, then that one is justified, and therefore, at most, he could get, disfiguring a corpse with his other two shots. I think that is an extremely weak place to be. Now you may respond with whatever else you'd like.
Okay. What I'd like to address is the fact you said that there was no fear of life. I disagree, because if you are surrounded by ICE officers. You've got two yelling for you to get out of the car. You can't deny that. They told her to get out of the car.
And others saying, get out of the way. She was hearing multiple people yelling, get out of the car, get out of the way. And then we also hear, I think at the end, one person drive off. So let's add all of the audio. In a minute, we'll add that right after he kills her, he's slowly going over when he should be giving her first aid, tells somebody they can't give first aid and calls her a fucking bitch right after he's killed her. His first words, having survived, killed her, put 3 shots in his face, is fucking bitch, is literally what he says. You can go watch the video that JD Vance shared if you don't believe me, but go on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did say that. I've seen that's irrefutable proof that he said that.
Yep.
But anyway, in situations like that, because I've been in 2 wrecks in my life, and in situations like that, there is literally a split-second decision. Again, you see a vehicle come for you. From where he was to the vehicle, there's no time for you.
Why did he step in front of the vehicle?
Again, I don't know why he stepped in front of it.
Well, he does a full loop around the vehicle once, one full walk around. Then he moves in front of it.
You had a clear. You had.
Hold on, wait, real quick, Nick, real quick. Before you get there. Do you know federal policy dictates you're not allowed to step in front of a car that's like moving? Like, that's federal policy.
Yes, I'm well aware.
So if the reason why he's at the front of the car is because he violated federal policy, does this mean because of his violation, her death was unjustified? Because he wouldn't have feared for his life had he not violated policy?
And she shouldn't have drove off with an ICE agent in front of him. It's not like she didn't know that he was there.
She didn't. He did a full loop around the car, and she recognizes him going around the car. Then she's looking at other ICE agents come up to her. Nope. If you watch the video, she never looks at him.
No.
Yes. If you watch the video, she does not. No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't.
She does. I watched the video. She makes.
You can also literally watch her turn the steering wheel. In his video, he puts the camera on her, and we can watch her fully rotate the steering wheel, clearly indicating she is trying to get away from him, not toward him. It's wild, because like what I'm meant to believe from people like yourself is that this woman, who is a mother of a 6-year-old, has 2 other kids in a lesbian relationship, and a van full of plushies, that day decided, surrounded by ICE with guns, who I already know have a short fuse and insufficient training, I'm going to get out of this by purposely trying to run over one of them. That's what is meant to be more believable than the guy who already has a history of breaking policy, than the guy who after kills somebody goes fucking bitch, than believing that that guy was looking for a reason to kill her. I got to tell you, your version of events that I'm meant to believe does not seem more believable to me.
I don't know what video you watched. She clearly knew he was there. Regardless if she was surrounded or not, or trying to get away, there was a federal agent in front of her, and that's just a dumb decision. She should have gotten out the car. And by the way, if she cared about her children so much, she shouldn't have been out there impeding ICE. That's a federal offense. She was blocking the road.
Blocking the road, where she literally had just signaled and let an ICE vehicle past her.
She was literally blocking the road.
No, she wasn't.
Nope.
And
she literally.
This isn't the first report of her doing this either. She had done
Nick,
this
she
earlier.
waved. I don't care, Nick. I don't care what she did. We do not look at crimes or anything like that by looking at what a person has done previously. It doesn't matter what she's done before. But she literally waves a car. She literally, nope. You see her with her hand out of the car, waving cars around her, they could get through.
Did you? Oh yeah. Also, did you know she was one of the leading cars leading this protest? Which
I don't care.
I think one of the ladies that were with her admitted this.
What would I care? Why would I care that she's leading a protest? Protests are legal in the United States. What
Yeah,
do I
you
care?
haven't
Not when
even
you impede
literally,
federal officers.
Nick. The only thing
It's
that
not
you,
legal.
the only
It's not
argument
legal
that you
to
have made so
impede.
far that, if true, would justify killing her would be that she was purposefully trying to hit him, and all of the evidence shows
It's
that
not.
one, she wasn't, and two, she wouldn't be the kind of person to try to kill, to do that. That it was not purposeful. It
It's
was
not.
trying
It's
to
not about
leave
intent. It's
and get out of that situation. Absolutely, it's about intent. And it's
no. It's
about
not
his
about intent.
intent
There's
as
a federal
well.
officer in front
And
of
it's
her.
about his intent as well, in that he was violating policy. He was not in front of the car. He was to the left of the front fender. He was at the front of the left side, but not in front of the car. He is barely bumped. And as you
Really?
already
Where's the bullet
said,
hole?
as you already, sir, where did I just say? Left fender. Can you not shoot the rightmost part of the, if you're facing a car, the rightmost of the windshield, you don't think if you were by the front left tire, let's say, from the perspective of the driver, so on your right, you don't think you could shoot your first bullet through the windshield, literally almost all the way to the right? Not only could you do that, you could shoot all the way to the left. There is no part of the, I don't know if you have guns. I have several, Nick, and I'm good at shooting them. So maybe
Yeah,
you don't know. Maybe you're not familiar with, okay, well then I don't know how you would make that dumb argument, because there's only one bullet hole in the windshield. It is all the way to the right. It clearly could have been shot from anywhere, including in front of the car, or literally just past the driver's door along that fender next to the wheel. And by the way, the next two shots, which you've agreed will be murderous shots if we find out that's what killed her, don't go through that. Because this is the thing that you have to answer, Nick. If she was trying to hit him, clearly getting shot causes her to floor the gas. That is when she takes off. Why is he fine? Shooting her did not stop her from going forward. This is what we're being told. They were preventing her. He was preventing her from running her over. The vehicle never loses forward momentum. In fact, being shot causes her to speed up. So if he's clearly in front and in danger of being run over, why is he fine?
If you look at the video, she
Uh-huh.
hits him.
Nope.
Again, he's fine. She hits him with the very corner of the car, but
Nope.
still hitting the federal agent.
Incorrect.
Yes,
The
she
only
is.
angle that
What-
looks
what-
like that, the only angle that looks like that is the camera that is far away from the front, and you can literally see the compression artifacts. When you freeze that, his head is often in multiple places. When you watch the video from behind that is closer, granted there is another agent there that obstructs it and makes it not perfect, the video appears to more show that he starts going in toward the vehicle as he sees her moving. She's already begun to reverse, puts his weight on the vehicle, and that jogging motion is a combination of putting his weight on the vehicle, pulling his gun, and slipping on the ice, all while trying to also hold his phone at the same time.
No.
Why is he fine? Nick, why is he fine then? She floored it because she got
Because he only
shot.
got hit
If
by
he
the
was in
corner of the-
danger,
of the
why
car.
is he fine?
Again, it's not necessarily that he's in imminent danger. He perceives imminent danger to his life. Again, you see a car come towards you because based on the footage, it came towards him.
No, it
Regardless if
didn't.
She turned the wheel. She should not have drove off.
It's
You know
amazing
what
that
I-
I
you
can
know what I
watch
do?
the video if I can watch the officer's video and watch her do a full 1.5 turns rotations of the steering wheel, but he couldn't.
Do you know what I do if I see a car coming towards me, Nick?
What?
I get out of the way.
And he's not even
Again,
ICE
this is a
officer, but he
this-
follows ICE policy.
Yeah, do you know what ICE protocol, do you know what federal protocol tells you to do if a car is coming towards you?
Get out of the way.
Get out the way. So he violated federal law. Federal policy states that you
Again.
get out of the way.
Again, that's policy. But we're doing. Again, you can have all the policies you want, but when you deal with a real life scenario, I mean, it was less than 3 seconds that he had to react to anything. Actually, I would say less than a second. You could see her back up and then drive forward. He's
Nick,
still in front
what
of
you're
her.
describing is why it's
Stupid
important that he
decision.
follow the policy up to that point. You're saying this like that's a defense. The reason why those policies exist is because they need to arm their people with, if you put yourself in this situation, that 3 seconds may result in you unjustly killing somebody. So you need to follow these policies. By the way, ICE does not have the power to do traffic stops. The whole reason why you guys are lying and saying she was impeding them, when you can see in the video, she gets out of the way, she waves them on, is to try and create a situation in which they are allowed when they are not. They don't have that authority. And so you are sitting there and you're defending that a person has died. You agree the last 2 shots are murderous if she's still alive when he makes them. But that first shot, because you think he got not hit, not ran over, bumped, wasn't in danger, because if he was in danger of getting run over, he'd have been run over. No forward momentum was stopped. Arguably, he caused more forward momentum. Because the way the steering wheel, she's starting going to the right, the steering wheel clearly straightens out because then she goes straight into a car as though no one is holding the steering wheel because she's been shot. I'm sure she hit the gas, dies, and the thing just goes straight on. If he was in danger, he didn't even limp after. In fact, the only thing he did was slowly go over, stop people from giving medical care, and say, fucking bitch. And that tells me more about him and his character than what you're trying to claim about her.
Yes, ICE agents can make traffic stops, actually, if they have reasonable suspicion.
Not on American citizens, and not unless you are impeding their investigation, which she was not doing, as shown.
What do you think she was doing in the middle of the fucking road?
Go look at the video. She's not in the middle of the road. We've already been over this. She literally waves.
She's literally in the middle of the road.
Hey, right before she is shot, how does that truck of ICE agents pass her if she is blocking them?
What do you mean? No.
No, yes. At the beginning of the video, she is trying to turn around. She is reversing. Her wife has gotten out to help guide it. And you see her put her arm out the window and wave, and a truck of ICE agents passes her, then stops, then the truck behind them stops also, basically boxing her in, and gets out. All the while, the other lane of traffic is still open. She is somewhat in her lane, as well as on the shoulder where cars are parked. You are outright lying. This is like, I'm trying not to quote like Orwell, but I'm literally hearing from the administration and from people like you that the things I can see with my own eyes aren't true. But I'm not MAGA, so I don't
disagree.
I don't quote 1984.
She was impeding the investigation.
They do it without reading
She
it.
was impeding the investigation. She made a
What investigation was
very
going on?
stupid
What
decision.
specific investigation was going on?
Again, they're there to deport illegal aliens.
Who was she stopping them from deporting?
She was blocking the road of them driving. You can't do that.
Again, Nick, if a car went around her, how was she blocking the road?
Because that car that went around her was one of the ones that she was leading the protest of.
Incorrect. It was a truck of ICE agents.
You literally see ICE agents get out of the truck that moves past her.
No, you see them get out of the truck behind her.
Both. You see them out of both.
No, behind her.
Nick, we're going to conclude the call here because you need to go. Nope. We're leaving the call here because you need to go watch the video again. Because I have no... If we want to isolate to just your argument that the bump happened and therefore that's one thing we can argue about. But you are right now making definitively false claims about what's in the video. Objectively, you can see it in the video that she lets ICE agents pass. So I'm no longer going to argue with somebody who's trying to tell me the things that we can see aren't there in the video. Nick, call back another day, because we've already given you 35 minutes, but I'm not arguing about whether something that is not in dispute is clearly in the video, because that's not even a disputed fact. She first waves ICE agents past, they go by, she continues to wave, wanting the next group of ICE agents to pass, they decide to stop and box her in. That is what happened. All right. Joshua in Arizona. Joshua in Arizona, you are on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. Joshua, would you like our audience in the live chat, of which there are currently 1,233, to refer to you as a he, she, they, or something else?
Hey.
Awesome. Thank you, Joshua. How old are you, Joshua?
22.
Did you vote for Donald Trump last year? Oh, man. 2 years ago now? Year and a half? Year and 3 months?
Yep.
You did? Were you eligible to vote for him in 2008 or 2020? You weren't, right? Were you?
Nope. Was not.
Okay. You were still 17 at that point?
Yep.
Okay. So voted in 24. All right. Joshua, we've already had out the details. I want to, and we can do it again in a moment, but first I want to know something that you definitively think Donald Trump is doing poorly and that you are critical of. Because I suspect the reason why we're talking to people and you guys are saying that there is no nuance to this and she just deserved it. It was not murder, it was self-defense. I don't think it actually has to do with her. I don't even think it has to do with the ICE agent. I think most of you are just going to repeat whatever Donald Trump tells you. So I'd like to break that mold first and hear, what will you say definitively Donald Trump is doing badly, poorly, whatever, that he is, when it comes to that type of part of his presidency, he is a bad president?
Well, for starters, I'd just say his handling of the Epstein files, that's a big one. And
How bad?
I'd say, how bad?
Yeah.
That's critical. Like,
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad would you say he's doing?
a 10 on the Epstein files.
Terrible, right? Because
Terrible.
he's protecting pedophiles. And now, Joshua,
I mean,
if
I'm
I was
not
going to say
in
that
office,
somebody,
I can't say that, but
I mean, obviously that's, then what, how is it a 10? How, if you can't get any worse, how is it a 10?
because
Or if you, go ahead.
it's a 10 because he said that he would do it, and it's been, I don't know how many months now, I lost track of time, but it still hasn't happened.
But if it can be worse,
know
then
who
you
he
don't think it's a 10. Right now, you're just worried about the files not being released. You're not worried about why they're not released, right? You're backing off the, well, I'm not going to say he's protecting pedophiles, which we already know he's protecting pedophiles. We already know, like, just look at the way he's going. I'm telling my DOJ specifically to investigate specifically Democrats, nobody else. He's not the president coming out and saying, investigate anyone who is involved with Jeffrey Epstein and was part of the pedophile ring. He said specifically, target Democrats who were in Jeffrey Epstein's circle. And so you're saying it's a 10, but it doesn't even make sense because you don't think it's a problem that obstructing the release of the files is literally protecting pedophiles. Or maybe you just don't agree. I don't understand.
Can you say that last part again?
I'll put it this way. If I was talking about something a president was doing that does or doesn't protect pedophiles, and I said the amount he is protecting those pedophiles is so bad, I'm going to give the score a 10. I would then say that alone would mean the next election, I would do something, these midterms coming up, to try and get him impeached. So this is my question then. If his handling of the Epstein files is a 10, will you be voting for a Congress that will either impeach or correct him? Or will you mostly be voting for candidates in Arizona that Donald Trump endorses?
I don't care who he endorses. I go by my policies. So
since Epstein is a 10, will you be voting
that
against Donald Trump's interest? Will you vote against Donald Trump's interest?
Okay, can I finish what I was saying?
Yeah, is it going to include an answer to my question?
I mean, It's going to include the answer to the first part, and then I will get around to the second part when I finish my first answer.
Go ahead.
So I can have everything I disagree with when it comes to presidency. So while I think he's doing good in other sectors, that's a bad spot. Impeachment. If that means J.D. Vance becomes the president, sure.
So you do support impeaching Donald
if
Trump?
he-
Yes, that is what it would mean. Vance would become president. You do support impeaching Donald Trump over his mishandling of the Epstein files, correct?
I would say it'd be a good reason for it. I'd be on board.
Okay. It seems like you don't want to commit to that, but okay. What would you say is your second thing he's doing poorly? Because you had another one. You wanted to do one after the Epstein files.
Yep. How he's handling our relationships with our allies.
So basically, he's a failed diplomat too.
Wouldn't say that.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good do you think, or how bad a job, we'll do the same scales before, how bad a job is he doing with our allies?
I realistically don't. I'd go straight in the middle at five because
Wow.
I feel like
So
with some of our allies, he's like really good with, and then other ones he wants like the Greenland thing with Denmark. That's one part where it's like, okay, why? But then there's other allies that we have where we get along fine.
Yeah, so Denmark, where he's actually threatening to break up NATO and potentially start a world war, that one's a 5. That one gets you the 5. But with our other allies, who's the ally you would say we're doing excellent with?
I'd say Japan is one of them.
You think Japan loves our relationship right now?
I mean, I'm not in Japan. I don't know what they think, but I think our relationship's all right. I think Poland is also a really good one.
Yeah. I think you're just guessing. Right now that we don't have a lot of love in any of the Asian continent.
I mean, you can. I beg to differ, but okay.
All right, so now you want to talk about the shooting of Renee. Now, in the shooting of Renee, there are 3 bullets that go out. The first bullet is what we all argue about, whether or not he was hit, whether or not he was in clear danger, whether or not he violated policy. We'll get there in a moment. Before we get there, I want to know, do you agree that the second and third bullet, a trained agent should have understood that since he was cleared away from the vehicle, he's no longer in the way of the vehicle is passing by him, he is no longer in any danger, that the second and third bullet are not justified because he is clearly out of danger. And the reason why you are trained not to do that is because now Renee is not the person in danger. Citizens in their houses and citizens in their on the street are who are in danger, because you trying to shoot into a car that is passing by you has a high likelihood of hitting a civilian. So Joshua, can we at least agree on that basis, an officer respecting their training and competent to be there, that the second and third bullets should not have been fired, and that Jonathan Ross was wrong to fire the second and third bullet?
I have to disagree with that.
Now go ahead and present your, it's funny because most of the time this is where I find that, okay, their humanity's not completely gone, because anyone who watches that video, by the time you hit that second and third bullet, goes, there's no question at that point. He is clear to the vehicle. He is more than a foot away. He's had time to move away and assess his footing and position. He's still holding his phone, and he's firing in a way that threatens by the way, there are ICE officers over there. He is now threatening the lives of his fellow ICE officers, citizens, and other people. So please, Joshua, this individual who has cleared the vehicle and is shooting completely from the side, explain, Joshua, how that was justified?
Well, because in order for it to like even in court, in order for something like that to go down as like him being guilty, it would have had to be like knowledgeable that there was no threat and that it was not just would have to mean to fire those other 2 shots, even though he knows she's driving away. So if the shots were like 1, and then wait a second, 2, but no, since it was all in quick succession, that's an easy one where it's just
something you said there though, Joshua, doesn't make sense, because the first thing they would do in court is see if he followed procedure, which is exhaust all other methods of defense, like get out of the way. Did he try to get out of the way?
It looked like he did. From if it really
no, he walked in front.
Angle.
He walked in front of the car. I was getting out of the way, moving to the front of the vehicle.
Well, he moved to the front of the vehicle before she tried to run into him. So,
well, hold on. You have to acknowledge she didn't. Do you not acknowledge that she? Do you acknowledge that she did not purposely attempt to run into him?
Oh, I don't think she purposely tried to hit him or wanted to kill him. I don't think she was just like, I'm hunting for ICE agents and I want to run them over. But you also can't try to flee from the federal agency and hit someone. If you run from someone and kill someone else in the process, that's still murder.
No. So what's clear here, right, is she did not know he had moved back to the front of her car. You can tell this when you watch the video, the one that they just released today. She had no clue he moved back to the front of his car.
That's irrelevant.
No, it's not.
It is completely irrelevant, because why are you trying to run away from federal agencies? It's completely irrelevant, because if she would have complied with the officers,
the agents who were telling her to move.
That situation. No, who told her to move?
I heard her girlfriend
say, "Drive." Listen, I heard her girlfriend say, "Drive, baby, drive," and I saw other agents pulling at her door, telling her to get out of the car after giving.
Why should she have listened to them? That was not a lawful order. ICE agents don't have jurisdiction over. ICE agents don't have jurisdiction over citizens.
They do when you're impeding on their investigation. They do.
What investigation was she impeding on?
Whatever investigation they were on, she was blocking the roads.
They went to wait. Hold on. Whoa. If she's waving the cars by, and a car goes past her and stops to get out of the car and go harass her, what investigation were they on? Clearly, that investigation didn't matter. So, what investigation is she impeding?
I don't work at the DHS. I don't know what investigation she was.
The answer is none
at that moment.
That's like when someone goes, "You're resisting arrest when you're not under arrest." It's like when they only charge you with resisting and they don't charge you with an initial charge.
She was.
What investigation were they on?
How am I supposed to know? I'm not a cop.
Why does no one know? Why is DHS not telling us any of this? Why does nobody know what investigation these people are on when she was quote unquote impeding an investigation? Because this all hinges on this. The reason she should not have gotten out of the car.
It'll come out eventually.
Wait. Hold on. The reason why people are claiming she should have gotten out of the car is because she was being detained by ICE for impeding an investigation. Yet no one can tell me what investigation was being impeded.
I mean, it's going to go to trial. We'll find out when people want to come out with it.
Man, it would have been nice for her to see that trial. Huh?
I have a question about that. Actually, I have a question about that.
I mean,
do you remember? Hang on. Do you remember under Biden?
Trial.
Josh, do you remember that under Biden, one of his federal officers killed a woman, and when Florida, this was in Florida, when the state of Florida wanted to investigate it, Biden had the FBI block Florida from participating in the investigation. Can you and I agree that the reason why Biden would do that is that way whatever narrative they want to tell, the federal government wants to tell, the state will not be able to go in and use their investigation and challenge it? Right? Like, that's obviously corrupt. If Biden's federal agents kill somebody in Florida, the reason to stop the federal agents from being investigated by the state is to basically perform a cover-up. We can at least agree on that, right, Joshua?
Sure.
Right, because you and I believe that states' rights are probably, the states should have some rights to protect their citizens from the federal government, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm glad we do. I'm glad we agree, Joshua, that the only reason why the federal government would block a state from participating in the investigation would be to perform a cover-up. I just want to once again confirm that we agree on that.
Not just to perform a cover up, but yeah,
that's wrong. That's problematic. We'd never be able to trust the federal government's version of events if the FBI blocks the state from investigating also. We can at least then, that takes care of the nuance. We can agree with that, right?
Sure.
Great. I made up the Biden thing. That's literally what the Trump administration did with this.
I know.
Did you know that? Did you know that the federal government is not letting the state of Minnesota participate in investigating Renee's death? And you've just agreed that the reason you would do that was to protect the federal government, to perform a cover-up.
Stop yelling a little bit. Yes.
I'm not yelling, buddy. I'm establishing. We've agreed now. So you just told us all the information's going to come out after the investigation. But now you're acknowledging, no, it won't. We won't see any information the federal government doesn't want us to see because they are trying to perform a cover-up. So Joshua, since we agree that this is a sign of a cover-up.
What information is there that they wouldn't want to see? It's pretty clear cut.
Joshua, isn't that the question? That's my question to you, Joshua. Since we agree that this is the hallmark of a cover-up, why is it that they don't want the state to participate in investigating? Could it be they don't want the state to maybe have the body cam of the other people there? Because Kristi Noem has already gone out and done a little press conference minutes after the shooting, claiming things are clear. The vice president has gone out. Could it be that they want to make sure that we never see that body cam footage unless it's body cam footage from an angle they think will help their case, but that they already know that there is footage and angles that will harm their case? Could that be the reason why?
It could be, but it also could be the fact that Minnesota, this whole state, has been very just like hostile, like not wanting to let ICE work in the city, having all this, especially like the fraud stuff. They want to make themselves look good and champion themselves as the guys that went and fought for this woman that was clearly in the wrong.
So Joshua, wouldn't the check on that be? Wouldn't the check on that be Minnesota should not be the only one performing the investigation? We can argue about, you guys love to talk about the corruption and Tim Walz when Tim Walz is who prosecuted the corruption. We know about the corruption because the Minnesota government exposed it and has already convicted people. But I digress. Joshua, so much more wouldn't the check be?
It's so funny when they say so much more, yet literally nothing's been proven in this last batch. You keep saying this.
But wouldn't the check on this be, Joshua? You're saying maybe they don't want them there essentially because they're corrupt. Well, I'm saying maybe the FBI doesn't want the state there because they're corrupt. So wouldn't both of them investigating impede each other's ability to be corrupt? You could even bring in outside agencies, agencies that have bipartisan committees to do investigations from states that are more purple. They aren't fully anti-MAGA and they're not down with the libs, as the kids say. And yet the FBI is insisting on having sole control of this investigation. Why is that, Joshua?
I don't know. In a perfect world, that's how it would be, but
in a perfect world with a not corrupt government ran by a president who is here to make money, because let's be so clear, that's why Donald Trump is the president, money and power. In a not so corrupt world with such a corrupt government, that is what it would be. And yet you're sitting here telling us it's a clear-cut case and all those details will be revealed, but also acknowledging that the way they are going to reveal the details is more consistent with a cover-up.
Well, I said it was a clear-cut case, was the shooting in general.
Yes. And if it is so clear,
I don't care about the aftermath. Like, I don't care what Trump's doing without this.
You should care about the aftermath, because what I'm describing is we will never be able to trust the FBI's details that you said those things will be revealed because they are shutting out other people from investigating. There are other officers there, some number of ICE, it's not all of them, wear body cams. And I'm concerned that
Well,
we'll
maybe
never
if
see a
Minnesota
body
was
cam.
taking care of their
I'm
state, then we
concerned we'll
wouldn't be in
never
this
see any
situation to
body
begin with.
cam that would potentially show, one, that actually he wasn't in front of the vehicle, that he was to the side of the fender, and that what you guys are saying was him being hit is him slipping on the ice.
You can clearly hear contact with the car in the video on his phone.
No, you can't. You can hear the sounds that your phone makes.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious, because his phone is shuffling because he is moving his hand's priority to getting out his gun and firing it. If his hand had remained steady, looking straight ahead like that, and all we see is that, then I would trust it. But it is literally moving. You can sync up the videos and see, because he is jerking, trying to move his weight to the car and trying to draw his weapon all at the same time.
I'm just wondering, like, let's say I was a cop, or I could just be a regular person. Let's just say I'm me, and I'm out going through a mall, and this mall has one of those moving walkways, you know, where if you stand on it, it'll just move you. And I come to the end of that walkway, and Jimmy is already on the walkway swinging a sword. And he's not going to stop swinging that sword. That sword's going to keep swinging. Should I step in front of the walkway? Does that make sense?
But the car, when he stepped in front of the car, was not moving at the moment, so that makes the point kind of irrelevant.
It was.
I have the video pulled up on my monitor right now. Yep. I'm watching it as we speak. The car was not moving.
Yep. It is first moving. It is first moving back, and then it starts to move forward slowly when he does his shot.
Okay, I'm about to watch this again.
Great. And he is violating policy all along the way by going from the back of the car to the front of a car that was in the act of doing a 3-point turn.
I also don't care if the car is moving. If the car is a deadly weapon, you should always treat a deadly weapon as if it's armed. So impeding what? Impeding what?
You deserve to die.
No. Impeding what?
Impeding, like, okay, they're obviously trying to get somewhere.
And so they could have if they had just kept driving. Why'd they stop driving?
Because, okay, so they're in unmarked cars, right? Maybe the woman didn't know that was an ice truck that she waved on. And she stopped, and when the other cars saw them,
she tries to wave both. She tries to wave both cars. You see it in the video. She you want to bet me? How much?
Okay, which clip? The angle of them behind the phone video, or
every single clip, she waves through the first car, and then she attempts to wave through the second car. In every single clip.
My eyes
I literally just watched it again.
Moment are lying to me.
I literally just watched it again. I'm at the 6-second mark of 10 of, if you go to the video on Reddit, Minneapolis ICE shooter walks directly behind Renee Good's vehicle prior to shooting. You can see that the first vehicle has passed at between second 5 and 6. She gestures to the second the second vehicle, which has lights on, by the way. So she knows it's one of them, to pass. Signals again, they stop the truck. She signals again, they get out. So, you're going to keep lying about the video that we can see with our own goddamn eyes? Because this is the crazy thing. This is
the one that I'm watching right now.
We watched a murder. We watched a murder. And this is how bad MAGA is. You can watch a murder happen, and MAGA is going to try and gaslight you.
Keep talking.
I got this. Hold on.
I got
this. Hold on. I got this. Give me a second.
You like to hear yourself talk, don't you? Damn.
Oh, I got this. Hold on. Jimmy, can you send me that?
What's up?
Yeah. The link to the video I just talked about?
Yeah, text it to me real quick.
Discord fine? Not on a Mac. I can't send it over text.
I mean, I'm just literally going to pull it up on my phone and then...
You don't have Discord
put it at the screen. Oh, I do have Discord on my phone. I'm an idiot.
You know what else I could do? Is I think Zoom share works on this thing. I don't know.
Oh my God, you're so right. Wait, I'll Zoom share. Send it. I'll do it.
Yeah. I don't want everyone to see my goon folder. Deep cut. There you go.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen. Luthien replace. Hey, there we go. So let's take a look at the clip, right?
Let's make sure everyone can hear Jovan still. Does everyone hear Jovan?
Should still be able to. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Nobody has said it yet, but I don't know how long the live chat takes to delay. Yes, they hear you. Okay, good.
Okay, cool. So let's take a look. So here we go. She waves off the first car. So here's the first car. It's an SUV. She's literally waving it to go around her.
Yep.
Because this is very clearly a one-way street.
By the way, she just waved again when the car's already mostly passed, but then waves another time. And then one last time there.
She literally
has actually waved to the other vehicle with the lights on that she know is ICE 3 times.
3, 4. She does 4 waves.
The first
5.
one
She does 5 waves.
the first vehicle.
Yeah, but still, she's waving the cars. She does 5 times. She waves her hands. So you want to try that one again?
I'm trying to see.
You want to release share?
Oh, you're looking. Okay, go ahead.
You want to release your share there?
Yeah. I can pull up, by the way, the full 4-minute video if at some point if we wanted to, but I'll drop the share real quick. How do I drop the share?
You just isn't there a button at the top? Luthien, does it let you change the video source back to his video instead of his share? I don't know how vMix shows that.
I found it.
Okay. It's a 10-second video. We're gonna wait all day on this response, or are you just trying to figure out how to spin it?
I joined the live and it's paused right now, so I haven't seen anything yet.
Well, you rewind it.
I mean, if I do that, it's gonna take. Okay, hold on.
All right. Well, we're 25 minutes in, and once again arguing about what's in the video. So go watch the video, study it, call back next time. Goodbye, Joshua.
Okay.
Okay. It's wild that we have to argue about what's in the video. That's where we are. And this is my problem with fighting with MAGA. And this is my problem with fighting with MAGA, about Christianity, about anything. It's that they decide what their facts are, even when there is all of the evidence to the contrary. It's why they pretend global warming's not a thing now. It's why they pretend a lot of dumb shit.
Is there anybody in chat that can find me what street this was, by the way?
The name of the street that she was shot on?
Yeah.
I know that they keep saying it's a 4-lane. A lot of people like to say it's a 4-lane. It does not appear to be. There appears to be a white hatched line in the middle, implying 2. And then the line that she is partially over is a solid line, implying that she is backing up into the shoulder. So I don't know.
Portland and 24th.
On about. Should we take an immigration before we do another lies about what's in the video call?
How many people are left? Do we have enough time for both?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
We could take more if. Oh, you want to be out by 10?
Yeah.
I just realized you meant 10 your time. Okay.
This looks very similar, and if this is the street, it's definitely not a. Well, this one's a fuck. Oh wait, it might be a 4-lane street. If this is the street, this looks similar to what the street she was on. I'm gonna cross-reference with the video. It's a 2-lane street with a shoulder, a bike lane, and another shoulder.
Yeah.
So plenty of space for those cars to move around.
I want to see the same thing. And again, you just proved your point. We're now down to I'm lying about whether or not she was shot. And I don't know where so now I'm looking at a picture of the memorial, and once again I'm seeing one white hatched line. Unless you're saying there's then a yellow in the middle.
No. I think I'm looking at the street. She was literally in the bike lane, which means there were 2 full lanes open.
Yeah.
Well, because the shoulder is very clearly covered with snow. Like it looks like it's tough.
And
to
that's
get.
what she's backing into. There's the white solid line. I didn't know it was a bike lane, so I was just calling her the
shoulder. Which means it is a one-way. It looks, it's a one-way, which means there were 2 solid open lanes. It looks like in, like on Google Maps when you look at the.
I want to look at the satellite view myself. What was it?
Portland Ave and 34th Street.
So I'm surprised this isn't like as soon as you type in Portland, though obviously some shit was going down in Portland last night also. All right, so let's see as we zoom in. Okay. No, she's not in the bike lane. She's on the other side of the street, I think. This is my opinion. I think she is on the side with the shoulder where cars are parking. I could be wrong. I think the bike lane is on the other side. There is only 2 lanes for cars from what I can see. Unless I'm on the wrong, that's Portland.
I'm pulling up the 4-minute video right now because that'll help me.
Yeah. But there's definitively not 4 lanes for sure. It is 2. Oh, it's a one-way street.
Yeah.
That I didn't know this whole time. That's fine. So they have a lane. She has moved out of the way. She is gesturing them forward.
Somebody took down the 4-minute video.
Oh, I'm sure DHS is making sure to scrub that everywhere they can. And then how far was she from her home? Do we know?
I don't know where her home was.
My understanding was this was her neighborhood, but that isn't something I fact checked yet. All right, let's talk to Miguel real quick. Miguel in Florida. You're on the line with Jimmy and Jovan. Hello, Miguel.
Hi, how you doing? I've enjoyed the conversation so far.
That's good. How old are you, Miguel?
I'm 54.
It says here you're a legal immigrant. Are you also a naturalized citizen?
I am, yes.
How long have you been a naturalized citizen?
I came to the United States through my parents when I was 6 years old, so I lived here my entire life, and naturalization through my parents.
So as of 18, you were able to vote in America?
Correct.
The last 3 elections that Donald Trump was in, who'd you vote for?
Not Donald Trump.
Any of the 3 times?
Well, 2 times, right? I'm not sure the 3rd time, but I have not.
No,
voted for Donald
he ran
Trump.
against Hillary, he ran against Biden, he ran against Harris. He lost, he won, he lost, he won. Remember?
Okay, yes, my apologies. Yes,
So you voted
all
for
3
Hillary,
I can vote
Biden?
for. Correct. Hillary and Biden.
And then did you vote for Harris?
I did.
Okay. But your point is Trump is doing a good job of deportation, just using the wrong tactics. Who did a better job at deportation? Him or Biden?
Well, my position with the Biden administration is that they were handcuffed, where this goes back to Trump's guidance to Congress saying, don't vote on the immigration bill. So as a result, the Biden administration really wasn't able to act appropriately to administer immigration.
And so you believe that because I would argue neither of them are good. Biden technically out-deported him. Donald Trump doesn't really have better legislation upon which to act. Biden started going off of executive orders, but I think they're all doing it barbarically. And so I don't understand what you mean by he's doing a good job with deportation, just using the wrong tactic. I would argue a good job would be quick and easy access to legal status in the United States for anybody who's here and not basically a violent criminal. Use that to lighten up then the courts that should just be evaluating citizenship cases. And instead, it seems like people like yourself, Miguel, thinks high numbers of deportation is a good thing. So that's what I guess you have to defend. What is good about his deportation?
Okay. So if we can just take a step back before I answer that question. My position is that the Biden administration did not have the proper funding in order to get the right count of judges to process those immigration cases. And where I think Biden faulted was allowing the entry into the United States, and some immigrants being compensated while they awaited their cases to be heard. I think
Miguel,
that
why
was
are we
a
stepping
flaw.
back? Is Biden president right now?
He is not.
You called in to defend Donald
Okay.
Trump.
No, I called in to defend some of the results as a result of the immigration policies that Trump has introduced. So the fact that those immigrants that are here illegally are now no longer in the process and are subject to deportation, I agree with that. I think those that have pursued through a legal route to become proper citizens of the United States is a good thing. But those that have done things illegally or have not done the correct process, the correct paperwork, the correct judiciary type presentation of their case, should absolutely be deported. I have no problem with that. And that's where I think Trump
nobody
has
is
done a good
against
job of
deporting
it.
violent criminals. Everything else you said is basically they're here illegally. Why they're here illegally, why it's harder to be here legally, we're not addressing at all. Like, for example, the fact that most people who are here, quote unquote, illegally started with a legal status and overstayed their visa. We're ignoring the fact that they're an important part of our economy. And I already said the actual solution would be, even if you're here illegally, if you aren't a violent criminal, let's give them a fast status to legal presence. That's going to lighten up a lot of those court cases. Why is it superior to deport them sometimes to concentration camps and to countries that they don't speak the language, places they aren't familiar with, where they are imprisoned or in danger? Why is that superior to, hey, you know what? They're here. We depend on them. Let's just switch them from undocumented to documented. What is so bad about having crossed a border that we should condemn people to going to countries that either don't want them, they are in danger in, or are literally going to treat them inhumanely?
I can't disagree with you on your statements, and that goes back to my initial comment, which is the approach, the tack that is being used is what I have concern or issue with. The fact that those that, and to your point, that we're not arguing those that are bad need to be deported.
Violent. Bad means too much.
Say again?
Specifically violent. The word bad means something different to you or me, but violent has a clear legal context.
Okay, we'll use violent. The fact that those that fall under that category that have been gathered up and have gone through, be it a non-thorough process at times and been deported, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
Why did Trump make legal immigration harder? If we're so about wanting people to come the right way, why did he make it harder for people to come the right way?
I think at the end of the day, it's to oversimplify it. I believe he's just racist. Anything that has to do with a certain geographical origin or a certain color tone of melatonin, he's just racist against them. To be quite frank, even though
so we don't think that could be fueling the deportation goal.
Oh, it absolutely is. I'm just what I've concerned myself with is the fact that at times, because I am an immigrant and naturalized, I often have to preface my conversation to say I'm a legal immigrant. Why should I be doing that? Why do I have to do that? And that's my issue.
Because people like Trump has made the word immigrant. They actually don't care that you're legal if you're not passing white, Miguel. For the record,
that's exactly right.
They're looking for ways to get rid of naturalized citizens too. So,
I
Miguel,
concur with you, and I think that there's a higher probability for my particular case that I may get deported as a result of that type of thinking, which is
so
wrong.
Miguel,
You know,
originally
yeah.
you called in to defend that he's doing good jobs with deportation just the wrong way, which you think is the same thing as what I said, which isn't, but that's fine. My question to you now, Miguel, is we have a midterm. Will you be voting in ways that empower his current immigration policies or defy his current immigration policies?
It would be to defy.
Excellent. All right. Well, Miguel, we'll leave it there then. Thank you for calling in.
One last comment that if I can just provide, and this is really
Quickly,
to
please.
Jovan.
We're just running out of time.
I gotcha. This was to your comment about the murder with Renee and the ICE situation. You've made a couple iterations saying that the ICE agent was standing in front of the vehicle. I absolutely agree that that was the case, but it was in the course of going around the vehicle as he was videotaping, gathering the license plate, and ended up in the front. So I just wanted to provide that
Shouldn't have been in the front of the car.
clarification point.
By the way, you're already incorrect. It was not for the purpose of gathering the license plate, because if you watch the video from his own phone, he has already done that at the rear and has now passed the
he
front.
Started towards the rear.
He moves back into the front, and regardless of whether or not he wanted to get the license plate, you wouldn't do it by crossing the front of a vehicle. I've been pulled over before. Officers don't cross in front of your vehicle. Even if they want to talk to you through because have you ever been pulled over on the highway? They want to talk to you from the passenger side because it's less dangerous. They will go around the rear of your vehicle. Anyway, Miguel, the next person's calling in to argue about that. It was nice. We were ending on such a nice spot with you. That guy murdered.
All right. Have a wonderful evening. I love your show. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you.
Thanks, Miguel. Last call of the night. Jay in Colorado. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Just fine. Jay, how old are you?
24.
It says you have two topics you want to talk about here. Real quick, if you're 24, you've been able to vote in both Harris versus Trump and Biden versus Trump. Did you vote in both of those? And who did you vote for, if so?
Yeah, I only voted in one, and that was the recent one for Trump.
Okay, and you didn't vote the time prior. All right. We're going to do a quick version of the car one, and then you can talk about Trump being a good. What is your best defense that Renee dying was justified and not murder?
It was justified because you have to listen to the officers, and
not at the cost of your life.
I'm black, and there's things I wouldn't do that I know is stupid, and that doesn't mean just because I'm black that can happen to a white person or Asian person, whoever. Things you just shouldn't do with law enforcement.
Jay, if a law enforcement officer tells me to put my hands in the air and I don't, and I just start walking away from them, are they allowed to shoot me in the back and kill me?
No.
Right. So just because she defied what was an area where people were yelling lots of things, just because she was defying a command, we are justifying her being killed, is what you're supposed to be justifying. And defying a command is not a capital punishment. Lying to officers, calling them pieces of shit, hating them, telling them you hate them. None of those things are capital punishments. So what justified, and keep in mind, I've been taking these in 2 segments all night. The first shot, where we argue about whether or not he was in imminent danger, I say it's clear he wasn't, and that's actually played out by the fact that he then isn't hurt. Because if he was shooting her to stop himself from getting run over, why, when that caused her to accelerate, did he not get hurt? Why is he able to saunter off, not even limping, calling her a fucking bitch after he shot her? But then there's the second 2 shots. where he is fully to the side. There is space between him and the car. He is completely clear of it and is now shooting in a way against his training that puts other people, bystanders and ICE agents, in danger. So we can do them one at a time. I assume you only want to justify the first shot, because most people agree the second 2 shots shouldn't have happened. Their best defense of them was his adrenaline was so high once he started shooting, wasn't thinking about that, but that they are at least unjustified. So that first shot, you can't say it's because she didn't follow orders, because that's not a capital offense. That doesn't mean you get killed.
Well,
What specifically justifies her getting killed?
So the first shot, even, I mean, this is just in my opinion, with all the shots, he got hit by the car. And if I'm shooting at somebody, if I'm in fear of my life, I'm gonna neutralize the threat.
Why did he step in
shooting,
front of
like,
the car?
I mean,
Why
this
did
is the
she have
thing,
to
too.
get out of the
Even
car?
if he did,
Wait. Why did she have to get out of the car? This was a completely unlawful order to relieve the car. Do you know in like a regular police shooting, if the police shoot you as a result of you not following a lawful order, they are at fault?
but she was fleeing the scene and was going to hit him.
Why was
did
she
hit him.
what fleeing what scene?
If a cop
Not a cop.
tells you,
They're not
like,
cops.
a cop or any law enforcement, a federal law enforcement, ICE agent, if they tell you to fucking stop or whatever, hold on, like you're detained, you cannot flee.
What? So ICE
We're
has
still on something
no
that does not mean they get to kill you.
ICE has no legal authority
No, I'm not-
to arrest U.S. citizens. You know that, right? The only way ICE can
Yeah, they
detain a
do.
U.S. citizen, the only way they can detain a U.S. citizen, no, they don't. ICE has no legal authority against U.S. citizens. The only way they can detain,
You
and they
say
can
no
only
legal
detain.
authority, but you're saying the only way.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
hold on. No legal authority to arrest. They have some legal authority to detain if the citizen is interfering or assaults them. So, in what way was
Okay.
she doing either? So they're trying to detain her. How was she interfering with them? And what was she interfering with specifically?
I mean, she was interfering with their investigation.
What investigation?
Whatever they were investigating.
What were they investigating? DHS doesn't seem to have an answer to
I'm
this
not
question.
sure. I'm not sure, but they were doing something.
They're
And
not.
she
If
got
you
in the
look at
middle of
all
it.
angles of the footage, they're not arresting anyone nearby. There's no one on that street that's being arrested. So what is she?
You don't have
impeding?
to arrest someone to be investigating.
There's no investigation happening. There's nothing happening
we
on
don't
that
know
street.
what was happening. No one knows what was happening.
I don't know, Jay. There's
They were
kind of a
there for
lot
a
that we
reason.
do know from the video. Hey, Jay, true or false? According to DHS policy, you may not discharge your weapon if jumping out of the way, stepping out of the way, is an option.
I'm gonna guess and say that's you're supposed to get out of the way.
Right. You're not allowed to discharge your weapon if stepping out of the way. Does he step out of the way or further into the way when he begins the process of trying to shoot her in the head?
Because he was stepping in the way.
Yeah. So according to DHS policy, he only shot her because he ignored his training and policy, which is there to prevent unjust killings of mothers and anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you do acknowledge she's dead because he broke rules, right? And if he had followed the rules, she would be alive.
Yeah, but she's also dead because she broke rules.
What rule did she
isn't
break?
it a little bit more important that the guy with the gun broke the rules instead of the woman who had just dropped her kid off from school trying to leave while she's getting screamed at with conflicting commands, and there's a person breaking the rules, and then when given the opportunity to rectify it, chooses to step further in toward the car, breaking the rule a second time, instead of backing away, successfully shoots her, then backs a step up, gets a full clearance of the vehicle, and fires 2 more shots. Did you already say you do or don't agree that the second 2 shots were wrong? He was fully clear of the vehicle, therefore those shots, if they are what killed her, were murderous.
I said I fully agree with what he did.
So you think all 3 shots are fine? All 3 shots are fine. When he is clear of the vehicle and no longer in danger, the 2 shots that actually endanger other members of ICE, because it's crossfire at that point, other civilians on the road, those 2 shots are okay with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, Jay. It would be so interesting what today would have looked like if one of those shots had made it into the face of another ICE agent, because that's what would have been in danger of happening. And now I guess you would be arguing that she basically murdered that ICE agent too. Because how do you justify, Jay, if you are out of danger? Jay, let me ask you this. If I steal something from your house and I have a gun on me, if I'm in your house with a gun that you can see, it is okay or not okay to kill me to protect yourself?
So in certain states, it's not okay, but in my opinion, I feel like if someone's
in most states it's okay.
Or don't have a gun.
I don't know of the states that would not, that would say you're not allowed to kill somebody who has a deadly weapon, has broken into your home. I don't know which states you're saying. Now let's move this forward. I've stolen the thing. I've left your house. You now see I'm at the end of the driveway and I'm walking away. Is it okay for you to now take your rifle, scope me, and kill me to stop me from getting away when you are now out of danger?
In certain states, you can do that, and I agree with that. If someone stole from your house and tried to flee the scene,
you are not allowed to murder somebody when you are out, when you are clearly out of danger. What state is it? Jovan, are you aware of a state that would say that that's okay?
State of confusion, maybe?
You think Texas, where I live?
State of Texas.
Jay, you think where I live in Texas, that if somebody stole from my house and I now have the option to call the police and I see that they are at the end of my driveway, I am no longer in danger. They are walking away. They're not looking back. You believe that I can go I have an assault rifle. I can go grab that assault rifle and shoot them in the back to stop them from fleeing? Yeah. Do you know why that's not correct? Yeah, 2 reasons. 1, you're not in danger, therefore it's not justified. 2, the other big reason it's not is because America does not assume most of its citizens can shoot straight. And while I wouldn't miss that shot, the state of Texas does not want you shooting out toward the road for fear you hit other people.
Yeah, I just Googled it, and it's not legal in Texas to do that.
It is. You can protect yourself and protect your property.
We already said that's not protecting. That is not protecting your property. And protecting your property means you can kill somebody. And by the way, if you're out of the house, this is wrong to do. But if there's nobody, you can stop a person from burning down your house. If there's no danger to somebody doing that, that shouldn't be okay. But that is in Texas. That is not what protecting your property means. If someone is stealing your vehicle, stealing something, but not putting your life in harm's way, in Texas, you are not allowed to kill them to stop them from stealing it.
So you're saying this, your car's out on the street, right? Like
correct.
In front of your house.
Correct.
If you come outside your house and see someone trying to steal your car, you can't just shoot them. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
You can.
No, you cannot.
You can.
No, you cannot.
You're protecting your property, and your car is just like your house.
You are not allowed to shoot out toward the street without an imminent threat of death to you. Because you could literally hit somebody else, and because somebody else's life is worth way more than you not being stolen from. And you've said you agree that that's okay.
So you're saying that if the car is on your property, let's say in your backyard, then in Texas it's lawful to shoot them.
if it is in your backyard where you are and there's imminent threat of danger to you, like you see that they are armed, you have good reason to, it's one of those things where you'd probably get away with it, but it actually isn't as clear cut as you think. And the fact that you think it's okay to kill people over property is fucking crazy. Who the fuck raised
Jay, can I ask you a question?
Why are you stealing?
Yeah. Jay, can I ask you a question?
Usually poverty.
You wouldn't happen to have like an older brother that lives in New Jersey, would you?
I have a brother that lives in New Jersey.
Do you have a brother that lives in New Jersey?
No.
Okay, I was just wondering because you
what
sound
about
very
a boyfriend?
But you're asking for what?
Do you have a boyfriend in New Jersey?
Do I have a boyfriend in New Jersey?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. All right, just checking.
What the fuck? Why are you guys asking this?
You're a very specific brand of sociopath. We thought you might be in one of their fan clubs, one of their meetings, going to the meetings.
I don't know. All right, that's just off topic, but we can get back on the topic. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, I feel like, honestly, in my opinion, if someone is stealing your stuff, you should be able to shoot them. But in some states,
that's fucking crazy. You think that a person's life is worth less than you holding on to a possession?
When you put it like that, no, but you shouldn't be stealing.
No shit. No one said. No one's. Hey, have you ever sped?
Speed?
Have you ever gone over the speed limit? Ever? Okay. Well, I think you deserve the death penalty because you shouldn't be speeding.
This is totally different.
No, it literally isn't. You're saying you're doing something wrong, therefore you deserve to die. You just acknowledged a person's life is not worth.
Not what I said.
A person's life is not worth less than than you keeping a hold of property. Somebody doesn't deserve to die just because they're stealing. And a person who does resort to stealing, which is often a poverty-related crime, is not automatically now not a human and not worth keeping alive.
Okay, my argument on that is we're talking about like real theft. I'm not talking about like just petty theft or whatever, like felony stealing versus a misdemeanor speeding ticket.
You already said it would be okay for you to shoot me if I stole something from inside of your apartment. So we've already gone past felony or house.
That's a felony.
That's a misdemeanor. Something I can hold in my hands? What am I walking away with? Your watch collection?
No, I'm saying this. You break in my house and take something. That's not a felony?
Depends on the value of the thing.
No, you got breaking.
If we're talking about the theft, it will depend on the value. If you're talking about breaking into the house, that might be a felony. But again, we're talking about when I've already left. So therefore, you can't say it's justified killing me over. Wait, so if somebody commits a felony.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying the stealing. I'm saying the stealing part. I'm not talking about just any old felony. But like stealing,
that would be your president, right?
Hand chopped off.
When should you get your hand chopped off?
Stealing.
No, your president committed felony. Your president does steal. Your president steals right now, though. By the way, his crypto scheme is a pump and dump scheme. That is theft. American citizens' money with a pump and dump crypto scheme. And by the way, now he's getting into the poly market style business and stuff too. So he's literally going to be helping turn a generation of kids into gambling addicts, by which his family will benefit. Truth Social is going to be launching Truth. I think it's called Truth Markets. Do you know what poly market is?
No.
Basically, it's where people can bet on anything. So you can bet on you could bet on this show. Will Jimmy wear a blue jacket tonight? You can bet on anything. And it is an absolute fucking nightmare that it's becoming deregulated and anybody can have access to it. Especially when, do you know how high, I'm trying to remember what the number is. It's something crazy. What percentage of people with gambling addictions kill themselves?
At least 7.
I don't know, but gambling is wrong.
Might be
All
6.
gambling is wrong. I don't agree with if he's doing that. I don't agree with that. But
Yeah.
just because I support,
Wait. So he's
President
already.
doesn't mean I'm going to agree with everything.
He also doubled his net worth, violating the emoluments clause. He's getting richer by having people pump money into his meme coin. So it doesn't even have any real value behind it. He's having foreign entities pump value into his meme coin. So then he sells at a high point. Then they pull back. He buys again at a low point. He's literally doubled his net worth by $3 or $4 billion doing this pump and dump scheme because he is the president violating the Constitution.
Okay. But to be fair, mostly every president got richer when they became president. Doing some type of fraud.
Incorrect. And to the tune of billions of dollars, also incorrect. Obama did not do a pump, did not violate the emoluments clause. Donald Trump is richer because he is selling presidential favors. These are not the same. You getting richer because if you give me money or make me money, I will do you a favor is a clear violation of the Constitution. That's what makes it corrupt. Obama getting money for a book deal because he sold books is not corrupt, except for that capitalism's corrupt in and of itself. But as far as the level of one is using the presidency to exploit and steal from Americans in a crypto scheme racket, as well as now a gambling racket, and the other is selling books because you're popular as an overrated tyrant.
Jimmy, somebody in chat brought us something really interesting. Jade, just confirming, you think all gambling is wrong, but shooting someone that's stealing your car, that's chill?
Yeah, I feel like, gambling is wrong.
Which God do you believe in?
It is legal.
Why is gambling wrong?
Are you a Christian?
No, I mean, you shouldn't be gambling.
Why not?
No.
It's fun. You ever sat at a blackjack table all night at a casino?
I don't.
Great.
We do need regulations on it.
I gambled. Yeah, gambling is wrong. And I'm a gambler. I lost a lot of money gambling.
And you're going to lose more on Donald Trump's truth markets.
It's wrong because you're bad at it.
For the record, I do not condone gambling. I know Jovan apparently likes it. Gambling's an extremely addictive thing that mostly preys on people who are easy to prey on. That's why people often call the lottery the stupid tax. It's your tax for being too stupid to realize that you shouldn't play the lottery.
I'm chill with gambling because I just count it as entertainment. I go, I'm going to go to the casino. Here's $500. When that's gone, I'm done.
Yes, Jovan is in the 0.1% of people who can go, I will not go past this dollar amount.
I'm too cheap to do that.
Yeah.
My cheapness sure outweighs the addictions. Like, Jovan, play another game. I'm like, bitch, you pay my rent?
I want to go out on a limb and say that Jovan and communist theory hasn't gotten into this. This is a weird thing for someone so staunchly left to be in favor of because of how exploitive like casinos and lotteries and things are. And I'm going to guess that it's just a fun thing he hasn't really thought about yet. And before people go crazy in the comments, because it's like I'm hearing, I don't know, a communist defend the stock market. It's fucking crazy right now.
You ever played the stock market?
Huh?
You ever played the stock market?
I have. I have played the stock. I probably still have a 401k from one of the companies I worked at.
Y'all, I get it. Y'all can tell. I've never once promoted gambling. I'm not going to, but I'm going to still go to casinos.
By the way, I will still gamble. I will do the same thing that you just described, but my general policy on gambling is condemnation. I grew up Mormon, so I also
only play games I can win, so.
You sound like everyone who is poor because of gambling.
No point of playing that.
What's that?
I said most of the games are losing games. No point, unless you just want to go there for entertainment. But you're most likely going to lose your money.
I go for entertainment. Like if I go see a fucking basketball game, I'm spending $300 there. Maybe I want to spend $300 at the casino that night.
Yeah.
I buy lottery tickets whenever it goes over $1 billion. That's about it. I'm sad that you don't get $1 billion because I want to prove that the right thing to do if you get $1 billion as a billionaire is to, as quickly as possible, not be a billionaire anymore. Anyway, this conversation has eaten up the remainder of our time there. So, Jay, I hope that you grow some empathy and put more value on human life. Probably need to leave Christianity. I'm going to guess where that's coming from. If it is Christianity, call in and let's debate Christianity next time you do a show. Next time we do a show.
Okay, well, you have a good night. You know, I see you guys. I just want to come in and chat, give my.
I think Jay muted there. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, thank you, Jay.
I thought you dropped him.
No, I didn't. He just stopped suddenly, and then it was over. Do you got time for super chats, or you got to go?
I gotta go.
We'll just solo me, and I'll read them out while you're gone. But thanks for hanging out and joining. And yeah, bye, Jovan.
Bye, guys.
We're gonna want to get rid of that banner. There we go. Excellent. Yeah, send your super chats in now if you are happy. I'm curious. Let's see. I want to do a gambling poll. How do you feel about gambling? Needs let's do currently insufficient regulation, praise on, oh man. Currently in regulation. Can I even do that word? Currently insufficient regulation. It's fine. Let people do what they do, whatever. I have to be careful with how much. Make it illegal. Let's see. Let's do it's fine as is. Actually, as the second one, it's fine as is. Make it illegal. Make it. We'll do remove all regulation as the extreme. I should put these in a different order. Fine as is should go there. Currently insufficient should go there. This way it kind of looks like it. Make it totally illegal. Then currently insufficient regulation. Fine as is, remove all regulations. I just want to see. Gambling is, yeah, what person put, it is destroying young men. Totally serious financial situation of young men in states with legalized sports gambling is horrifying. And you have a ginormous jump in suicides. You have a ginormous jump in depression. Gambling is like one of those things. You know what? It's one of those things where I don't know the perfect solution, but clearly we need to deny it to more people. And I would want to have the conversation of how, and that's also how I feel about alcohol. God, I fucking hate alcohol. But I mean, we buy alcohol. I don't drink because I can't. My health situation won't let me. But my partner will have some alcohol. I love my partner like so much, and yet I would still leave her if she became an alcoholic. I would never date an alcoholic ever again. Your brain has changed. It's one of those things where if you're dating an alcoholic, having especially gone through addiction recovery myself, not for alcohol, your relationship's over. You're just putting it off. The odds of you having a successful post-alcoholism relationship goes way down because you're now a part of their pattern. So even if they get clean, you will remain a part of what may push them back to it. Just like when I got clean of the things I was doing, I had to get rid of every friend that I did those substances, not just with, even just around. Like, this is the place I used to go party. This is the place that I used to, and while that place wasn't providing the substances, that was the place I would go with that substance. Yeah, I have a very low opinion of alcohol, which so does my gen and Gen Z, and as they go, the opinion on alcohol is getting lower and lower. And yeah, alcoholism just ruins relationships and lives and shit. And then the other thing is, even if you're in that tiny percentage of people that are the exception, and your person's going to recover and you're going to have a great life after, it's still not worth everything that will happen to you along the way. More people will be better served by breaking up with alcoholics and substance abusers, for the record, than staying with them. Alcoholism also ruins a lot of creators. I'm not going to call anybody out, but even this last year, there are people who I was very attached to, and clearly alcoholism is what ruined our professional relationship. Anyway, yeah, I hate alcohol. I hate alcohol. Let's see how the poll is looking. Currently insufficient regulation. It's fine as is. Remove all regulation. For the record, I would say currently insufficient regulation probably also, because I'm not really for... It's hard because it's kind of like how I'm not for drugs being illegal the way they are now, but that doesn't mean I want it just to be anarchy about drugs. And if you get addicted, you're fucked, like it's your thing to worry about. I also think gambling addictions and things like that and turning to vices like that, if we lived in a socialist society where you meet people's basic needs, already instances of those dependencies go reduced by a lot. So it's hard because a lot of people, it makes me so sad, the number of people who have stories of, I only had X amount of dollars left. And basically, if I hadn't won the scratchers I bought, some terrible thing would have happened. Because what that means is, you heard that story because that was the guy who succeeded. That means that for every guy that was in that situation, hundreds to thousands of people spent the dollars on the tickets that didn't win and got into that worser situation. I know you hated how I used the word anarchy. I used it in one of the ways. I had to argue with a libertarian last night when I'm a libertarian socialist. So you'll recover. He was a big L libertarian. I'm a small L libertarian. You are incorrect, Marmar, who says nobody uses the word anarchy properly. No, people aren't limiting themselves to the use of the term anarchy as you use it. The way I use the word anarchy is consistent with one of the ways anarchy is used. Anyway, all right, let's run through these. Liz Chris, Jimmy always makes me laugh. Thank you so much. Ash says that jacket, Jovan. Nobody's super chatting about me and my blazers, but in fairness, I'm wearing the Monad Gonad underneath it. I'm classing it up this year. We're going class up. Jimmy, you need to work on your Southern... Oh, we did that one. Abstruse Glitch says Fox News remains peak victim smearing rag with the headline, Renee Nicole Good, part of ICE watch group. I honestly, that's bad, but it's still not as bad as Jesse Waters on Fox News yesterday or the day before, making it important to emphasize identity shit. Literally counting on his audience to care less as he calls her a lesbian partner, a poet with pronouns in bio. Like, he's hitting all of these things to make sure people care less and less and less that a mother has been murdered. In general, it's a person. I'm not a parent, so I actually hate the way people act like you inherently have more value. If you are a parent, it certainly means that you have more value to at least one other person if you have that label, but you can also have tremendous value to a lot of people and have no children yourself. So I actually hate, and I've just done it myself, the whole parents are the people with the most value in the world. But then having bad parents is the thing that did the most damage to me. So maybe there's an argument for it. Ant-Man said the fact that the last thing she said was, I forgive you, and he still executed her. I didn't hear forgive. I remember her saying, I don't hate you, I don't dislike you, was the last thing she said to him. And he said, fucking bitch, to killing her. Caller, and frankly, everyone else defending spinning and just straight up lying about what everyone is seeing is fucking wild. Love you, Jimmy and Jovan. Yeah, there has to be some amount of these scumbags that they know they're wrong. Your boyfriend wants my shirt. I think we still sell them. Let me go double check. Right now, we're still doing the mugs through the month of January. We're letting people buy, but then my mug won the contest. So my mug, the Jesus Through the Eye, will get additional merch in the remainder of the year. My Don't Play Hide and Seek with Jesus. Oh, wow. The browse all does not work at all. You can click view all at the top, but that just gets you to the mug. Browse all. Ooh, our page is all fucked up. What if I just hit the line? Featured product. View all. I am foisted on my own petard. I have broken your ability to buy any merch besides, and nobody told me this. I am sad that this did not come to my attention sooner because people probably didn't buy other merch they wanted to because they thought they just couldn't. So let me go ahead and fix that real quick while I keep reading these. I watch these shows because I love the host, but the callers make me feel so sick that I wish I had Jimmy's stomach from Caracal. Well, the metaphorical stomach you might envy. I assure you, my literal stomach is not something you want, as I am a very, very sick boy. Make it totally illegal. Being 10% is higher than I expected. I'm not mad about it. I think that means I'm actually almost comfortable with it. 10% of people having such a distaste for gambling that they believe it warrants total barring kind of actually feels like the right, like you're going to see extremes represented in all things, and 10% honestly seems like the right amount of extreme total barring of. And the worst part is I just got my invite. I like did I say foisted on my own petard? Hoisted on my own petard. I thought it was. Hang on. Hoist with one's own petard is the original. No, yeah, it isn't foist. I thought it was foist. I don't even know what foist is. Might have made that word up. Okay, add section. Featured collection. I just want the rest of the collection. That's featured products. What is this header? Featured collection. Let's just do all products again. And we'll double the length. Okay. As of save. Now, if you go to linemerch.com, after you scroll past the mugs, you will be able to buy things like the Monad Gonad. And there is some fucking fucked up shit. So this, but as a smaller repetitive pattern we have on a sundress, just so you guys know. I'm pretty sure, I think I bought my girlfriend one and I think she hid it. She's the producer right now. Did you hide? Luthien? Can you hear me? All right, well, I can't hear Luthien. Also, Luthien,
Sorry,
go ahead and
I found it.
Yeah.
It was on the floor. Yeah, I lost
Just
it.
now you found it?
No, like a couple days ago.
Lost. She's never gonna wear it. Okay. Get rid of the phone number and other name tags and stuff from that banner up there if that's easy to find and do. Because we're just reading the super chats now. Ash Ray says Nick is too dumb to know an AI video when he sees it. Oh man, the people have been distributing these AI photos that are supposed to be like overhead, and it's literally like, so where's the video? Where's the video? This is clearly AI, and you're like, you fucking idiots. Nick is disingenuous from soloing. Laura says, why didn't ICE call the Highway Patrol? Tori Experience says, Jovan, I freaking love you. The level of depravity from this caller is sickening. They cannot be saved. They can only be exiled from all aspects of decent society. J&J handle biz. I'm very fond of. Don't tell him I said this, but he's one of my favorite people to host with. I'm trying to think if he's got the top. I have a lot of affection for things Promise and I used to do, but she's not really into call-in shows as much anymore, so I don't know how often she's going to do, especially the political ones. I hope so. And then I podcast with Alyssa all the time, and that literally is like, I almost didn't think of it because I always forget that that's content. Literally, it's therapy for the both of us. It's like getting on and just complaining with a friend about stuff. Akan says, even if she was blocking the road, she wasn't. That is not a reason to off someone. This is my point. The way they'll just be like, she should have been following orders. Fine. She shouldn't have died. Even if you believe she should have been following orders, fine, the penalty shouldn't be she dies. It is fucking insane. And this is what's like just getting me so fucked up lately. It is fucking insane how low the bar is for some people to literally kill people. Piriform says, even if she was blocking the road, how is she impeding an investigation? I don't get that talking point. And she wasn't. Now we know it was a one lane, or it was a one way too. So there's a completely open lane that they could have gone down. She's not even blocking because they don't have to worry about uncomming at all. There's no version of that being blocking. Joshua is just a terrible person who is fine blaming victims and can't come to terms with it. That's from Katie Iron Fist. Soloing says, dude is talking Texas law to someone in Texas. He's thinking of, there is a night theft exception in which you can legally try to defend that you don't think there was any other reasonable way to try and recover your stolen property. And apparently you can shoot somebody, but even that often fails as a defense in court. And the situation I gave him is definitively, first of all, not legal, even if it was not okay. And him going, and I believe that is good. So they're like, well, and I believe you're a fucking sociopath. Meg says, gambling is wrong, but literally murdering someone to protect a car is justified. You're insane, Jay. Well, Meg, I'll see you in a few minutes when we play games. We'll have to pick something we can play against each other and put some money down on it. Let's gamble. Soloing says, Trump sells pardons for $1 million a pop. Crickets, right? Betty says, donation because Jimmy has my gambling habits. You were gambling on whether or not I'd read that one out loud, because I often don't. Lena says, I cannot trust myself to gamble. I love it in video games and in places I cannot spend money, but the only time I ever went to gamble, I couldn't stop. Look, here's the thing too. I don't want to get too deep into gambling. I like Polymarket not as a business. It's clearly exploitive. But it is interesting to watch the way those markets are predicting real world events, but the cost is not worth it. But I shouldn't say I look at it a lot. And then they just sent me an invite. They're like, hey, you get access. You can have access now. You can actually gamble in America now because it was illegal until like a couple days ago. And I'm like, bruh. Anyway, I don't know what the numbers are, but based on the money I have lost in my past during periods of time where I did not have income to justify it at all on like games, mobile games, to like unlock characters and open loot packs and things like that, or on Overwatch years ago when I was into Overwatch, I probably shouldn't be doing a lot of gambling myself. Now, I will say I paid for a significant part of college. I think I'm years enough away from this that it probably isn't going to get me into a lot of trouble to admit. I hustled a lot of card games. I made a not insignificant amount of money hustling at cards because I was into like card magic and became very good at sleight of hand. So that's a thing. But that's not gambling. That's cheating. It's different. Huey says the only billionaire to get taxed at that high of a rate is a lottery winner. Yeah, no shit. Piriform says, wow, the lack of empathy and BS talking points tonight was disgusting. Also, there was a talk about bingo cards at one point. If Jay calls in again, I think we need one comparing him and Andrew from New Jersey. He sounded super stoked that I asked if he had a boyfriend. God Sinner, by the way, there's only 2 more super chats, so if you want any more responded to, you got to get them in right now. God Sinner said, I never gamble with real money. Side-eye, my Gatch games, Hearthstone, and Magic the Gathering from Caracal. Oh, shit. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon, Magic the Gathering. I only got into Magic the Gathering lately because it's at least, like, Pokemon, it is totally unreasonable to try and go and, like, get good pulls and stuff. It's been completely ruined by scalpers. Magic the Gathering, you can now have, like, a decent enough collection without getting too crazy. So... Soloing Yavere says fixed gambling with a set limit based on a door fee. Something or another. Yeah. And also robust funding for recovery clinics and shit like that. Paid for by the people who make those profits. That's the way you do it in the capitalist society anyway. Okay. I like that you texted me to say an hour ago, please check Discord. You should really just say it into my ear next time.
There was a lot of talking going on. I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, I see. All right. Well,